Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a swarm trap. Just a quick and easy swarm trap out of an old box, some frames, and a few other pieces of equipment. Okay, so what are we using today? Tools. I've got my drill gun with a, I think it's a T25, or no, it's a T20 bit. All right, got that. And I've got some screws here. I think these are 1 3/4 inches, 1.5 inches, 5/8, something like that. So I've got those screws, and they are the Torx T20 star drive. I like to put everything together with the star drive bits because they don't slip like the Phillips bits do. Okay, next. This is one of my standard swarm traps. Just a quick overview of it. On the back side, you have a board that's screwed on with 2 big screws in the bottom, and will be 2 big screws in the top once I get it up to the tree, but that gets in the way, so I don't leave those in there. On the bottom, I have one of my old migratory style handmade lids. I used to use them for lids. They were kind of leaky, so I used them for bottoms after that. It's just been screwed on. It's made out of 1x4s and a piece of something 1x that's narrower, and then 1x4 cleats. It's all screwed together. It's probably way too expensive to make it that way. So a lot of times these days I'm using just plywood, because plywood goes together quickly, it's fairly cheap, and it's fairly durable. This is an old box, an old deep box. It was bought in 2003, right? And you can see right here, it's got kind of a corner knocked out of it. So I take advantage of the broken corners like that. I hollow, kind of get the rot out of them, and that becomes my new entrance right there. So what do we fill our trap with? We're going to fill it, we're going to start with foundation, frames of foundation. Put those in there. Then I'm going to stick a frame of old brood comb. This one's not that old. This is actually fairly fresh, but it has at least a year's worth of brood in it. It's got a little bit of drone comb right here. It's drawn fairly straight, but not perfectly. You can see the bees chewed out a section of drone, or chewed out a section of foundation here and put in drone. Or maybe that was a piece of foundation that broke off at some point. Looks like there's a curve in the foundation right there. So this piece might have broken off. Foundation's a bit wavy, so it's probably a piece of foundation that had been in the frame for a while before it got built on by the bees. Anyway, so we're going to put that in there. Just one frame of that. And then finish it off with foundation. And because there's this hole in here, I have in the past put frames all the way up to there, but that kind of blocks off some of our entrance. And bees like a certain size entrance. They like about 2 square inches. So this is about, say, 2.5 inches long, maybe, well, if you count the actual entrance. It's probably about 2 inches long, and it's going to be about 5/8 of an inch deep. So it's going to be a little small to have that stuff in our way. So we're going to leave that open. In this box, I have drilled 2 screws right here. Can you see it? One here, one here. And those are I'm going to push those frames in there tight. They're going to hold the frames back. So even when I jostle the box around, they're not going to move. So it's going to leave me a nice empty space here. Bees are going to come in here, see this empty space, hopefully occupy these frames. I'll try to get the box moved to its new location and put into a new box so that before they build a new comb here, because otherwise I'll have to do a little cutout. All right, so that's our foundation and box and frames. And then I'm going to use a lure that I make. You can see these reused from last year. This is just a Ziploc sandwich bag with a piece of paper towel folded in half. It kind of barely vaguely smells like lemongrass oil, but not really. Most of the lemongrass oil has evaporated. So I'm going to refresh this using a little bottle of lemongrass oil. I actually bought a big bottle and refilled the little bottle. I'll keep the big bottle in the fridge so it doesn't, I don't know, deteriorate or something. So all I'm going to do is up in this thing and drop about, come on you, are you too full on me? There it goes, come on. About 10 drops. I'm sure that's plenty. 10 drops of lemongrass oil in there. And then I'm going to close the bag. Why do I close the bag, you ask? Well, if I leave it open, the lemongrass oil will evaporate rather quickly. It might run the bees off initially, and then it'll be gone too quickly, and so it won't be an attractant anymore. So, whoops. I'll lay that on the top bars like such. Then I'm going to grab a lid, which in this case just happens to be an excess spare piece of plywood. Which way is up? Let's call this way up. It's just a spare piece of plywood that was part of a shelf. In fact, the shelf behind me, oh, don't forget your lid in there. The shelf behind me is, the individual shelves are 3 by 5 feet wide. It left me some extra plywood that I made into lids. And I wanted to do an experiment to see how long unpainted plywood would last. The answer is only about 2 or 3 years, depending on your conditions. So probably better to paint. And I'm just screwing in the lid with my Torx drive screw. So that's how I give new life to a box with a broken corner. Hopefully the bees will see that dark hollow space right there. Go investigate it. They'll smell the lemongrass oil as a lure. And by about June or so, hopefully I will have a colony in this box. All right, that's all I got for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or on the Facebook group at facebook.com/treatment-free beekeepers. And I'll see you next time. Have fun keeping bees, because if you're not having fun, do something else.